Lauren and her husband, John, watched their golden retriever, Wally, splash and frolic in the shallows. Wally, a creature of pure energy and boundless enthusiasm, was a natural swimmer. He'd chase sticks, dive for fallen leaves, and bark with delight at the slightest ripple in the water. They'd been at the lake for an hour, and Lauren had settled back on a picnic blanket, enjoying the peacefulness of the afternoon. John, ever the doting dad, had tossed a stick into the water for Wally. The dog, momentarily distracted, chased after it, disappearing beneath the surface with a joyful splash. "He really loves the water," John commented, watching Wally resurface, shaking droplets from his golden fur. Lauren smiled, agreeing. But then, she noticed something peculiar. A white, fluffy object was bobbing near the center of the lake. At first, she thought it was a branch, but as it drifted closer, she realized it was a groundhog. The groundhog was clearly in trouble. It paddled feebly, its small head barely visible above the water. Panic started to rise in Lauren's chest. She had never seen a groundhog in the water before, and instinctively knew it wouldn't last long. John noticed her sudden concern. "What's wrong?" he asked, glancing at the water. "Look," she pointed, her voice barely a whisper. "That groundhog, it's struggling." John followed her gaze. The sight of the groundhog, tiny and helpless in the vast expanse of the lake, sparked a silent worry in him. He knew that even the smallest creatures can be caught off guard by the unpredictability of nature. As if guided by an unseen force, Wally, who had finished retrieving the stick, suddenly turned and swam toward the struggling groundhog. He was a magnificent sight, cutting through the water with effortless grace, his golden fur catching the sunlight like a beacon. Lauren held her breath. She had never seen Wally react so instinctively to anything before. Was he curious? Or was he sensing the groundhog's distress? Wally reached the groundhog and stopped. Then, with a gentle nudge, he nudged the struggling creature onto his back, carefully supporting its weight. He turned and swam back to shore, the groundhog clinging to his coat like a tiny, furry passenger. The scene unfolded before them with a quiet, almost ethereal beauty. It was a simple act of compassion, yet it felt profound. Lauren and John watched in awe as Wally carried the groundhog to the edge of the lake, carefully depositing it on the shore. The groundhog, shaken but unharmed, sat up, its small eyes searching the dog. It seemed to hesitate for a moment, then, with a tiny squeak, it brushed its nose against Wally's snout, as if expressing gratitude. Then, with a final glance at the dog, it disappeared into the undergrowth, leaving Wally to resume his playful romp in the lake.